Well, we're gonna start this day off on the right foot. Sometimes there's jobs you want to do, sometimes there's jobs you have to do. And this one's one we want to do, so let's start the day off on the right foot. Just came back from taking a load of fence posts to the dump. Before we get back to the real work, let's pull this post, or stump. Am I used to saying post? Morning, guys. We had a pretty busy weekend. One of them stretches where we weren't quite working on what we wanted to work on, but still being pretty productive. We've been removing fence lines on a couple new pieces of property that we've taken on, so we kind of got distracted by some of that, but they're all good things and they're all wins. But we're standing here this morning kind of wondering what direction the morning's gonna take us. It was pretty late night last night, but you know, we joke about farming night ain't being easy, but we standing here this morning talking about what we're gonna do today, and we can't help but acknowledge the elephant in the room. We were in Calgary last week picking up some new rigging products from Canyon Rigging. We needed a couple more slings and a couple tie downs for hauling the silage bales, so we were in there grabbing stuff for that, and we ended up picking up a strap for a specific little side project we wanted to do. We used to have a tree in between these two buildings, and we're going to be changing up our fuel storage and a few other things around here, and we've been cleaning up the yard, so don't mind kind of the scattered mess. We've been cleaning up the shop and cleaning up the yard, trying to get ready for winter. But anyway, we took down this tree, but now we have a stump, and we don't obviously own a stump grinder, but we thought it'd be pretty funny while we were at the rigging supply. Thank you to Canyon Rigging. We thought we'd grab a strap and just see if we can pull this thing out. I don't know how many tractors we're gonna have to hook to the stump. We have more rigging if we had to. We only did grab one strap. If we have to hook more tractors up, we'll use other rigging as well. But the elephant in the room is we've been wanting to pull this stump out since we got the strap last week. And well, nothing to it but to do it. Now, would you look at that? Gotta get rid of the evidence. Nothing ever happened. You guys didn't see any of it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of fun at our expense. Didn't really think this all the way through. Now we have a big ass stump to dispose of. We can't really leave it where it is, it's in the way, but I guess I better hook up the hydraulics on that grapple and pick it up and throw it over the fence. Well, coincidentally, we happen to have the loader on this tractor right now, and it's here in the yard, so obviously we used it for this, but I guess I should hook up the hydraulics on it so we can clean up this mess. Does anyone else feel the same way? Just went to the dump this morning, got rid of all those fence posts we pulled over the weekend and all that debris, and you know, it feels good. You go take a dump to the dump. That sounds right. go take a dump to the dump, and you know, you feel good. You got all this garbage and things off your plate, and literally within 20 minutes of being home, we have this crazy idea to pull the stump out, but now the trailer's a quarter full and have to go back to the dump again. So speaking of big dumps, as funny as that is to say, in all seriousness, that load of fence posts I mentioned we took to the dump here this morning, we took on a new piece of land, and we are gonna farm the entire property, or at least like 99% of the property now. So anyway, there's a few fence lines and stuff that are being taken out. We loaded up this dump trailer full of barbed wire and posts. We had a barbed wire separated nicely and the fence posts stacked real nice. Anyway, so out of courtesy, as we've always done, you know, we mentioned that, you know, when we get up to where they're stacking all the fill, we have all this wire, and where would you like us to put it so that they can bury it right away, so that there's no debris wire, especially being wrapped up in equipment. But the fella that I had asked, hey, where would you like us to put this barbed wire? Do you want us to separate it from the posts or whatever? Anyway, the interesting thing about what he had said was, well, he said, thanks for asking. Sometimes people just dump that stuff right out in the middle of nowhere, and then they have to push it and try and bury it. He told me, or he was in a dozer and he opened the door to the dozer and turned the dozer off. I said, oh, you don't have to turn it off because it's a, you know, substantial size diesel engine. Don't have to start it and stop it more than you need to. And he's like, no, I have to. And I said, oh, why is that? You know, I thought maybe it was a safety thing or something like that the landfill asks him to do as an employee. But anyway, he says, no, I get actually quite a few disgruntled people yelling at me, or think that I'm yelling at them. So by disgruntled, he described the situation where he's like, when he's talking to people, people start assuming that he's mad at them, but he's way up in a cab talking down to somebody, and the diesel engine's right there in front of the guy. And it kind of disturbed me, because why would you get mad at a guy? All he's doing is trying to communicate with you because you're trying to communicate with him. And when he told me this story, I'm not going to go into complete detail, but holy, we don't need to get mad at people, folks. Life's too short for stuff like that. He's doing his job. He's talking in a louder voice to try and communicate back with you. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. We just need to be nice to each other. That, when he told me that story, my mouth kind of dropped, and I'm like thinking to myself, you're serious? People get mad at you just because you have to talk in an elevated voice because there's a 400 horsepower diesel engine running in front of you? Like, let's call a spade and just be nice to each other, and let's not take it out at people at jobs, whether it's picking up your coffee in the morning at a drive-thru or an employee at the local landfill. Like, we're all in this together. People are just doing their jobs. There's no need to get mad at them. When he told me how many people get mad at him, I was, like I say, my jaw dropped, and I was quite shocked at how often stuff like that happens. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since, and just thought I'd throw that out there. We can all have fun in this world, and just be kind.